Morning everyone, and welcome back to the farm. Well, after a day of having a light misty rain, that finally moved out. Now we can get outside and try to get a little bit done today. It is a little bit cloudy and a little bit cooler, but not too bad for mid-March. We're going to end up going to get pigs later on this afternoon, but this morning we're going to try to make some room in the barn for the broiler chickens that'll be coming here in the next week or so. So we got a little bit of cleaning up to do and get busy doing that. Well, the first order of business is we got to get rid of this wagon load of firewood. We got quite a bit left on here. We didn't burn near as much as we normally would in a regular winter around here in Western New York, but hey, that's all right. This will be less that I have to cut and split later on yet this spring. Well, I like the looks of that. That filled that in a hurry. Looks like I have about, I don't know, a face cord or so of firewood I gotta split. So that's not too bad. So, man, those birds are really talking today. That's really a nice sign of spring. Got water running in the creek. Well, now that we got that job done, it's time to move on to the next. First thing we gotta do is get this 460 out of the way. Logan's gonna do that. And then after that, we gotta get this mess all cleaned up over here, because eventually we gotta get the Super M out of here. Alright, now we got the 460 out of the way. I think next we're going to move the four-wheeler and the Super M.
Outside?
Yeah, we'll put it outside. Well, let's see if we can get the old Super M out. Turn the gas on. This thing hasn't ran all winter long, so we'll see if she starts. Nope, the battery's dead. Well, we'll get the battery charger hooked up. Just so happens there's a plug right here next to it. Put on fast charge and see if we can't get it to start. So while we're waiting for this thing to charge, I'll give you a little history on this tractor. It came to our farm here last September, October, from what I remember. This is a 1953 Farmall Super M. This one is a stage 2. They made a stage 1 and a stage 2. The stage 1 was really nothing more than a regular M, with the exception, the differences being a larger cubic inch engine, and they added disc brakes. But then later on, they still had the same cubic inch engine and the disc brakes, but they added live hydraulics to them, and then they moved the battery under the seat as opposed to underneath the fuel tank where they were on the M's. The other thing about this tractor, we weren't looking to buy another tractor at the time we purchased this, but there was two things special about this tractor as to why we ended up pulling the trigger on it and buying it. For you Farmall people out there that know, this is a Louisville tractor. They made the Farmall H's and M's at the Rock Island, Illinois plant. That was the Farmall Works plant. Well, they had such a demand for these tractors in that time period that they were making them, that they actually set up an assembly line and started making these at the Louisville, Kentucky plant. That's where they made the Farmall Cubs, I believe, the A's and the C's. So they only made 13,000 of them out there. So they're a little bit more collectible than, say, the ones that were made at the regular Farmall Works plant. The other thing about this tractor is I'm the second owner of this tractor ever. The family that I bought this from, they bought it brand new in 1953. The gentleman's grandfather bought it new. They farmed with it. They had a working dairy farm, and then they ended up selling the farm, and he bought this tractor in the auction, and he used it to make hay because he had Percheron horses. So he used it to make hay for 20 years or so, and then that was all before I knew the gentleman. And then once I was introduced to him 15-20 years ago, this tractor actually spent quite a bit of time sitting outside. Luckily the motor never set up, and then eventually it got put in a barn, and that's where it was when he called me up and asked me if I was interested in it. They were downsizing and selling their estate, and he wanted it to go to a good home, and he was pretty persistent that he wanted me to have it. So we come to terms on a price, and we brought it home, and after about a half an hour monkeying with it, I got it running, and I haven't really done anything else with it since. Drove it around a little bit, make sure everything works, but put it here in the barn. And all right, let's see if this little girl will run. Well, we got to air this thing up again. Evidently, this tube's got a leak in it somewhere, so I guess I'm going to have to figure that out at some point. Well, this one ought to run. We just had this one out here not long ago. So you're probably asking yourself, why are we moving all these tractors? Well, this is where the chicken brooder is going to go. I've never had it in this spot before. It was over there along the wall last year, but we've gotten some different equipment. We did some different things last year as far as putting equipment away. So I'm figuring this is going to be the least intrusive area to everything else all summer long. And it just seems to fit perfect here, so we're going to get putting that together. We're going to need this. Alright, so the first thing we gotta do is lay this thing out. I gotta remember how this goes together. But we're gonna lay this panel out over here. Lay this panel out over here. Kinda using, we got these two panels. Go like this. Take it. So now,
hold this up?
Yep. And then last but not least is the center brace bar. There. And then I have these wire lids that go on here. but I need to remember which way they go, because they do kind of fit one specific way. And these help keep any critters out from getting to the birds. Well, that's pretty much it as far as the brooder itself goes. It measures 8 foot long, it's 4 foot wide, 2 foot high. I built this framework with 2 different screens that can go on top. That's just chicken wire. You know, I really like this design. It's portable. I can take it anywhere. A couple years ago, when I was raising egg layers, just egg layers, I had it in the shop. Wasn't the shop at the time, but it worked well down there. Last year when I started raising the meat birds and I needed it more throughout the season than just in one, 2-month stretch or whatever, I ended up bringing it up here, and it's worked out really well. It's portable. Like I said, I can take it anywhere. But the nice part is when I'm done with it, I can take it all apart. I can lean it against the barn wall, and I can utilize this space for something else. You know, there's no permanent structure here. You know, there's no great big elaborate, build off the ground thing that, again, takes up space when you're not using it. So I really like this design. And if I expand and need, another brooder, I can build just another one like it and take up some more barn space. Then at the end of the season, I'm done. So this really, really works out well. This year will be the first year that it's going to be in continuous use all summer long. Last year, between the first batch of broilers and the second batch of broilers, there was a time period I didn't use it. But this year, with us doing consecutive batches of broilers, this thing's going to be pretty much full all summer long. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this setup's going to work right here where it sets. Well, we got the box all loaded up, ready to go pick up a few critters. So that's what we're going to do. But it was a productive day. We got all the firewood put back. Nice, we don't have a whole lot to do there as far as cutting and splitting more firewood. Getting the barn rearranged for the chicken brooder. We'll see how it goes, putting it where we did for this year. New spot. It's always nice to try new things, I guess. The only thing I got left to do is hang up the heat lamp and put bedding in and get their food and water out and ready to go for when they come. But they're not scheduled to be here for another week or so, last week of March. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like our channel, we ask you to subscribe. And with that, we hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.